So this is my La Liga wrap for the season. Barcelona are champions. Congratulations once again. That's about it. I don't want to talk more about them. Let me go to my overperforming teams that exceeded expectations. And the biggest overperformance for me has to be Rayo Vallecano. They lost one of the biggest names that helped them secure promotion to La Liga and even establish themselves in La Liga. You get me? They lost, I think, Castagna, arguably their best defender. They lost Fran Garcia to Real Madrid. They lost Santi Comesana, was also one of their best midfielders. And then most importantly, they lost Areola, their manager. Despite all that, they still managed to secure back-to-back 8th position finish in La Liga. You get me? And have now sustained themselves in La Liga for 5 straight years now, with basically no budget. So most of their important players left on free transfers, or some of them even had buyback clauses and started in their deals. So what they did was genuinely impressive. And then for teams that underperformed, I would have said Real Madrid. But realistically speaking, finishing second behind Barcelona is not a disaster. You get me? It was either going to be Barcelona or us winning the league. If you feel me. But anywhere below second would have been a disaster and an embarrassment. You get me? But based on the standards that operate at that exist in Real Madrid and Barcelona, not winning the league every season is considered a disaster. You feel me? And again, consider the fact that Barca also won it last year, so people expected Real Madrid to respond this year, and we didn't. So I wouldn't say Real Madrid are the underperformers. So the underperformers for me would be Athletic Club. Finishing 12th with the type of squad they have is embarrassing. It's very disappointing. Nico Williams would have actually been a league winner if he had signed for Barcelona in the summer. Not only that, with the way Rafinha missed the majority of the season due to injury, Nico Williams' profile as a player would have been elevated and he would have exploded if he was in this Barcelona team. And who knows, he wouldn't have suffered the injuries he suffered. But what he did was using Barcelona to negotiate a new deal at Athletic Club, and then injury ruined his season for him. So I would still say Barcelona and Athletic Club are the underperformers. And then for the overperformers, when it comes to players, I would say Joan Garcia. Replacing Andre Ter Stegen at Barcelona is not an easy feat. Szczęsny was brought to fill in those boots. He couldn't. And then this guy came, and then he stepped up massively and finished with 15 clean sheets. And this is not one of those situations where you see a goalkeeper rack up many clean sheets and you're like, oh, his defense was top notch. The defenders were doing their job, so the keeper had less to do. No. As a matter of fact, Barcelona's defense is one of the most exploited, most exposed, and most disorganized defense. So that 15 clean sheets were almost all down to his individual brilliance. You feel me? So he was phenomenal, and he also won the La Liga Player of the Season, deservedly so. And then for my underperformer, I would say Camavinga. This dude has been at Real Madrid for 5 years. He has played alongside Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, Casemiro, and with all this profile around him, you would expect his game to have elevated, but no. And then especially in a season where Real Madrid needed some organization and control in midfield, he was almost the worst player in the team this season. So I would say Camavinga is the worst, is the most underperforming player this season. Barcelona scored the most goals in La Liga with 95 goals and also the most assists, 69. Kylian Mbappe won the Pichichi with 25 goals and Muriqi finished second with 23 goals. Lamine Yamal had the most assists with 11. Barcelona had the best defensive record with 15 clean sheets, like I said earlier, all thanks to Garcia. The same even applies to Thibaut Courtois for Real Madrid, who came second with 15 clean sheets with a horrible defense. Mallorca, Girona, and the Real Oviedo were relegated. So next season, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Villarreal, Atletico Madrid, and Real Betis will be representing La Liga in the Champions League.